evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this week's edition of CINEKYD Television Theater. I'm Bob Clark, the Executive Director of CINEKYD. I'm very pleased that you could be with us. And rather than delay here in my office, I'm going to take you on a visit with our own Dave Trachtenberg. Now, for those of you who don't watch CINEKYD Television Theater regularly, let me just say that David is one of our kids, and he writes, produces, hosts, and edits a series, a mini-series called When I Grow Up. And the purpose of the series is to talk with adults and find out what in their childhood, or as they grew up, what took them to the particular field in which they work. We have a very, very interesting guest today, a lady who runs a company in the kind of situation where we normally think of men. And to be truthful, any kind of success in the building industry today is an accomplishment in itself. Well, let's turn it over to Dave Trachtenberg, and we take you now by remote TV to Malone wall covering.
CINEKYD Theater for When I Grow Up. This week we're going to be interviewing Miss Molly Schatz of Malone Wall Covering. Before we start the interview, what would you like me to call you?
You can call me Molly.
Molly, okay. Molly, when you were a kid, was this, what you wanted to do? Did you want to own a wall covering?
No, I don't think so. I don't really remember what I wanted to do. I didn't think about it.
Huh. Where were you born?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Well, how'd you get involved in this business?
I worked for someone for 17 years in this business, and I finally decided that I was going to do it myself. And so I went into this business by myself.
Was it tough getting started?
It sure is. I'm still getting started, but I'm in it now a year, and I'm doing very well.
See that?
And I love it.
There's a lot of interesting things to do.
A lot of interesting things to do, a lot of interesting people to meet. You deal with the public, and the public is very interesting. And every day is different. No 2 days are alike.
Was 129 Toad Road the first location of Malone Wall Covering?
Yes.
So this is your beginning?
This is my beginning.
Do you think that you're going to expand Malone Wall Covering?
Well, I hope to, but right now, I'm just taking each day as it comes. Mm-hmm. And I hope that in years to come, I will.
What are some of the services and products that Malone Wall Covering provides?
Okay. Malone Wall Covering provides services for wall covering. We install wall covering in homes, in offices, in apartment buildings, all commercial buildings, hotels, restaurants, hospitals. We also have a showroom where we provide wallpaper to the public. We sell the wallpaper. We're open every day in the week. And we have decorating consultations for anyone that needs help in planning their home, their office, wherever, whatever. And we're here to help you in any way we can. We also provide carpeting, window treatments.
How many people work here?
5.
5 people.
5
what
people.
Are the different jobs?
Well, I have paper hangers that install the paper hanging, the wall covering. I have a secretary, a bookkeeper, and I have someone that works in the showroom to help the people, make their selections for wallpaper and carpeting.
What are some of the things that you do yourself?
What do I do myself? I do everything except install the paper. I can't do that yet.
Do you, help people decide on what,
I help people decide on what colors, what would look good, what's available, what is popular right now, what's the newest look in wallpaper, in fabrics.
How do you get your business? What do you do?
I advertise. I know a lot of people. There are certain publications, business publications, that are printed each day that I follow. And, all these things combined, they work.
Do you do big companies?
Yes, I do work for a lot of big companies. I just worked at Bloomingdale's, did Bloomingdale's interiors of their store.
The new mall?
The new mall, the Willow Grove Mall, yes.
Mm-hmm. What are some other big companies that you've done?
I've done some law offices in Center City. I've done a couple hotels. Quite a few different, companies. I've done some work up in Ambler. Mostly commercial type work.
Do you do private?
I do residential also, yes.
What do you do in your spare time when you're not working here?
I don't have any spare time. I work here all the time, except when I sleep.
What are some of the jobs that have to be done in the average day?
What are some of the jobs that have to be done in the average day? Well, we have to install the paper, the wallpaper, and you have to make phone calls to see that the job is ready to have the wallpaper installed. You have to be here in the showroom when customers come in.
Okay, well, thanks a lot.
You're quite welcome. It was my pleasure.
Thank you very much. Appreciate talking to you, and I appreciate you watching when I grow up. So, thank you, and see you next week.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you, Miss Molly Schatz, for appearing on this week's program. Now, ladies and gentlemen, especially those of you who are parents, I think that you're going to enjoy the next new feature that we have as part of CINEKYD Television Theater. Those of us who are parents, and those of us who are also grandparents, will admit to keeping rather substantial collections of photographs, compositions, artwork, valentines, birthday cards, all those things that sort of chronicle the growing up of our children. If in Dave's series we take a look at where our young people might go as a career, this next presentation gives us an opportunity as adults and as members of CINEKYD to take a look back at our roots. Mark Weaver is our host, and what we have here is a look at the very early days of filmmaking. I think Mark is going to provide us with a humbling experience, and every other week he'll be joining us, and you're going to have a chance to look at some old home movies, as it were. So, here we go with The Way We Were, Mr. Mark Weaver.
I'm Mark Weaver, and in the next few weeks I'll be your host for The Way We Were, a look back at our younger days when most of us were just learning the basics of filmmaking. Most of the movies you'll be seeing are student films taken from the archives of an old film enrichment program, and they reflect the mistakes that can be made by people who aren't yet quite fully experienced in the art of movie making. Our first film was made in the summer of 1976, so let's take a look at it. Alright, now the beginning of this film is a little bright, it's a little overexposed, so you don't have to adjust your television set. It's not you.
Don't touch that dial. I must offer to you a confession.
Okay, now watch this look of horror. Tell he's had a lot of acting experience. But you have to remember that for a lot of the people, this is the first time they've ever made a film.
You may call it my ghoulish.
Okay, now he's just turned them into videotape, or just tape. And he's erasing them. Interesting. Alright, now watch the girl on the left with the paddle ball. She's not very good, but watch this. See? Until they really picked the right person for that. Ah, the monster. And of course he touches them and turns her into tape. Good, the girl with a paddleball got it. Turned her into tape. And of course he then erases them. It's an interesting concept, but the pencil eraser. Never seen it quite done this way. Okay, our next victim. Right under the monster with his pencil.
Sorry about that. But they're not half as bad as the worst scare I've had. The cockroach at Cincinnati. I've seen ghouls and hobgoblins and witches, and some moth-eaten werewolves with fangs. There were creatures that chattered and others that clattered and Japanese.
There, he touched them and turned them into out-of-focus tapes.
Driving me batty, but they're not on a par with the worst one by far. The cockroach at Cincinnati.
Okay, now here's our next victim.
Oh, he must have needed a seltzer. It's amazing how much he got down.
Well, so much for the one gun. Why he didn't shoot him with the other one, I don't know, but he turned them into tapes. And of course, erased them again.
I thought Ben looked a little bit ratty.
Alright, now you have to remember when this film was being made, alright? 1976, and you know what was happening in the government. It was Watergate with Richard Nixon. He was erasing the tapes.
The cockroach at Cincinnati.
Well, that was interesting. But there's a lot more where that came from. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in 2 weeks on The Way We Were. This is Mark Weaver for CINEKYD Television Theater.
Thank you, Mark. I sincerely hope most of you were able to figure out the message in that particular film. And I'm sure you understand now why we don't show it too often. In any event, moving along, I'd like to take you now down the hallway to our brand new color television studio, where tonight we're going to introduce a brand new TV series. It's called Skeletons in the Closet, and it brings to you action, adventure, mystery, suspense, romance, everything that you would ever hope to find in a TV series, you are going to find in the weekly chapters, the cliffhanging adventures that we'll be bringing you from now to the end of our television season. So, without further ado, here is the first episode of Skeletons in the Closet. Our story begins in the little town of Oakdale. Newspaper reporter and sometime TV personality Melanie Ross has convinced her good friend, wealthy socialite Leslie Barrett, that she has to be the ideal candidate for mayor of the town. In fact, should Leslie win the primary and the election itself. She would be the first woman ever elected mayor of this quiet little community. In short order, Leslie shares Melanie's enthusiasm. Her younger sister Suzanne is not so thrilled at the prospect. In her typically teenage fashion, she finds the world of politics absolutely boring. But Melanie and Leslie remain undaunted. For Leslie, this excitement adds luster to her privileged upbringing. For Melanie, managing her friend's campaign is both a challenge and a stepping stone toward national fame. Leslie and her sister Suzanne live in elegant surroundings in the center of town with their elderly, slightly befuddled Aunt Tilly. Aunt Tilly is of another generation, sometimes of another world itself. Her prized possession is a shiny coffin, which she bought at a discount and is saving for the appropriate time. The mystery actually begins when she permits a neighbor child, young Fiorello T. Cronin, to dig in the Barrett backyard as a part of his social studies project. Fiorello has chosen archaeology as his field of interest, but his digging unearthed more than a few trinkets and something more grisly than a few fossils. Next door to the Barretts live the Gordons, and pride and joy of the family circle are their two children, Debbie and Dennis. I suppose these two represent all that anyone hopes for in their sons and daughters. Popular with their chums, excellent in their academic pursuits, gifted musicians, fluent linguists, and well-coordinated athletes, Debbie and Dennis are beloved by the entire town. Their charm, their manners, their poise. No one would ever imagine that these fine scholars were capable of anything but the finest behavior. Or were they? They're known in Oakdale as the Fighting Sullivans. Actually, they're cousins, Abe and Mabel. And through some quirk of fate, they inherited a very popular restaurant, the Oakdale West. Actually, it's quite a nice place. Not ready to be franchised, but good food at reasonable prices. It seems, though, that Abe and Mabel can never decide whether to stick with the business or to sell it. Every time Abe is ready to put the place on the market, Mabel doesn't want to sell. And every time Mabel is set to call it quits, Abe is sure prosperity is right around the corner. They've donated generously to Leslie Barrett's campaign. They're active volunteers as well, until Fiorello does some digging. When Fiorello had dug too far, Aunt Tilly decided it was time to call for help. The police department of Oakdale assigned their best man, plainclothes detective Craig Saunders. Saunders was young, but already a seasoned veteran. He knew if he were ever to solve the mystery, he would have to single out a suspect. Who better than Margot Valentine? Who was this mystery woman? She had arrived in Oakdale just about the time the digging started. She registered at the Oakdale Motel, visited the shops, but who was she? And how did she connect to the mystery of the skeleton? When the mystery began, when the crude remains were unearthed, Leslie Barrett realized that she desperately needed professional help. Fate stepped in the form of Kirk Baxter, private investigator. Cool, cruel,
and nobody's fool. Kirk Baxter lives on danger. From coast to coast, around the world, his reputation as a private eye is well known. So too, his fast cars, fast lines, and fast lifestyle. The latter, however, has been curtailed of late because this eligible bachelor has been charged with the care of his teenage nephew, Buddy. For the time being, this high-flying detective has to care for himself and look after his brother's son as well. So the Barrett case seemed just the thing. Simple, clean, and quiet. He may have been very, very wrong. The part of Melanie Ross has been portrayed by Jill Degenhart. Debbie Gordon has been portrayed by Robin Degenhart. The part of Suzanne Barrett has been portrayed by Jamie Gorman. Leslie Barrett has been portrayed by Roseanne McEwen. The part of Fiorello T. Cronin has been portrayed by Scott Mulvey. Kirk Baxter has been portrayed by Scott Randolph. Dennis Gordon has been portrayed by Danny Kopp. Abel Sullivan has been portrayed by Joanne Sisto. The part of Abe Sullivan has been portrayed by Stan Skalski. Margot Valentine has been portrayed by Mindy Trachtenberg. Buddy Baxter has been portrayed by Tom Trudgeon. The part of Aunt Tilly has been portrayed by Wendy Waldman. Detective Craig Saunders has been portrayed by Ed Cleaves.
And now, CINEKYD's mobile video department takes you behind the scenes to the graphics and miniatures crew.
I'm working on a poster for downstairs in the audience for Telford.
Is this the first crew you've been on in CINEKYD?
It's the only crew.
Do you like it?
Yes.
How long have you been with CINEKYD?
It'll be a year in January.
How did you find out about CINEKYD?
It was in the newspaper and kept seeing it. How to use the different projectors and glass mats, different styles of drawing, making miniatures, houses, and the sets.
What are you doing?
I'm making a shadow box to display Uncle Flywheel's cabin. After it's just a box with a small scene in it that just is used to show off a miniature that was used in an old production. No, I was here for one of the summer workshops on the journal. It's a good experience for kids and really helps kids learn a lot about different modes of filmmaking.
What are you doing right now?
I'm making a part for Frank's movie.
What's it called? Movie.
I'm not sure yet.
Do you know what it's about?
All I know is this guy gets shot or something right about here, and the other two guys from behind these trees get there. To set up sets for miniature movies. Most time is trying to put all the bushes and the grass on and trying to get them on the right level, because all
Every week I say the
all
same
people for different movies or different levels. Like you have to get the trees high enough so the people aren't higher than the trees, so they look like sharks. Kind of old.
Because he's down there, you know, and he knows all these critters because
It'll hold together for the most part because of all this and the turf will hold it together.
Now we'll go from behind the scenes to the CINEKYD bulletin board with student Lorraine Hoffman.
Hello. This week on the bulletin board we have CINEKYD's Family Movie Night at 7:30 Saturday night. The movie this week will be Miracle of Morgan's Creek, directed by Preston Sturges and starring William Demarest, Betty Hutton, and Diana Lynn. Tickets are $1.25 in advance and $1.50 at the door. Don't miss this great film. For more information, call CINEKYD at 659-4696.
Well, we have crammed into the past 30 minutes about as much as we can. And I'm sorry to say that we're just about done for the night, except for one last thing. With all of these programs and all of this activity, I'll bet you someplace in the viewing audience this evening there's a young fellow or girl who decided that he or she would love to get involved in a program like the one we run at CINEKYD. We're located in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania, at 129 Turwood Road. Our phone number is 659-4696. Let me suggest this. Right now, before you forget, go right to the telephone and give us a call. 659-4696. Before you lose your courage, go to the phone, give us a call. If the line is busy, you keep trying. What I want any boy or girl who's interested in making movies or TV shows or radio productions, working in art, still photography, makeup, costume, set construction, any of those things, give us a call, and then you arrange with members of your family to come on down, take a tour of the facilities, meet some of the kids. We'd love to have you as a part of our program. Until our next program, next week, same time, same cable channel. This is Bob Clark. Good night and God bless.
Next week on CINEKYD Theater, a brand new segment as we take a nostalgic look back at one of the greatest entertainers of our century. In the news segment, Jolson Sings Again.
I give the world to be among the folks in DIX. I even know my mammy waiting for me, praying for me down by the Swanee.
I bet a whole bunch that I'm the best behaved, most obedient kid in the whole place.
In addition to Jolson, we'll take a visit to Uncle Flywheel's workshop and find out how the kindly old puppet maker is getting along with the tiny helpers and Stuart. Also, we'll take a visit to the Cinema Arts Department, where student host Chris Wilson shows us some of the better student-produced efforts. In addition, another brand new segment as we visit with student Brian Eggleston, who brings us up to date on the workings of CINEKYD Journal, the student newsletter. All that next week on CINEKYD Theater.